Hello and welcome to the Congo Hour. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Trippi, joined along with my superstar co-host Waynna. And today is a day that we all have been waiting for, because I did say that I'm going to try some of her famous, I think I gave it that adjective, peach cobbler. But Waynna says that she has the best cobbler, not only peach cobbler, but she has different flavors, right?
That's not what I said, Trippi.
What'd you say?
I said I'm starting off with peach and eventually, possibly moving on to different ones.
That Waynna has the best peach, strawberry, pineapple, what other flavors are there? Blueberry. If you can come up with a flavor, Waynna can make it into a cobbler, and it will be the hit at whatever event you are having. Christmas is coming up, Thanksgiving is coming up. If you got a birthday around the corner, you have got to try this cobbler. I haven't even tried it yet, and I just looked at it, and I was like, I need some more. So, but we are going to have that right there. Somebody came down, and it's going to be a part of the taste testing.
Yes.
Yes, and she also has a catering business, so I think she's really here just to talk about her catering business. She tried to sneak one in on us. That's what that was. She thinks she's slick. Yeah, because the schedule was full. She was like, okay, I know how I'm gonna get around there. So I'm gonna say I'm coming to talk about the taste of this peach cobbler.
She come with
so come first. No, but she is here from Moto Kitchen.
Okay.
She's gonna talk about her business. We're just giving her a hard time. And then we're gonna talk some funeral home. We'll give some funeral home information tonight, Waynna. We're gonna talk, last week we said we're gonna talk about some political things that are going on right here locally in the city of Wilmington. So we're gonna cover a lot this evening.
We are, I'm excited.
So you wanna take a break? You wanna get right into it?
Might as well get into it, because that was...
That was what?
I mean,
okay, all right. So I guess the bombshell, right, is that Mayor Prizicki has officially announced that he is not going to run for a third term to be mayor. He has already been mayor for 2 terms, and you're allowed to be mayor for 3 terms. We've only had 1 3-term mayor, Mayor Baker.
Yes. And
council has unlimited terms, but as mayor, you can only run for 3 terms. He said on Wednesday that he's not going to run. So, how do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, you know how it was, whispers and everything saying that he wasn't going to run. So
yeah, it's been, the writing on the wall has been there for a minute, for a few weeks at least. Yeah. If not longer. But today, Wednesday, he made it official. He did tell council members first. I appreciate him for giving us, the heads up. Then he said he was going to send out a press release a little later. He did that, and a lot of people.
Press release
a lot of people are chiming in.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they are.
What's the feedback?
Just wishing, he wants to spend more time with his family. So of course that's always first. That's the priority.
Most definitely.
Yeah, he has children and grandchildren that he just wants to be around more. So we can't blame him for that.
Right.
I think that he has done a fantastic job as far as development in this city of Wilmington.
Definitely, you cannot take that away from him
at all. He has the relationships and he has the wherewithal to have brought his vision, a vision that originally started with Mayor James Baker. When I first got on council, Waynna, Mayor Baker had a vision for downtown Market Street, and I didn't see it. And I was one of the ones who opposed it.
I remember you said
remember that?
Yes.
You remember that? Yeah, but cause I thought the money should be, because he wanted to put, I think it was $1 million, but I forgot how much. He wanted to put that money into renovating some of the buildings on Market Street, because he just had a vision for, for what he wanted Wilmington to look like. Just being able to attract more people to come and work here and to visit and to play here and to live here.
Right.
And I gave him a hard time because I didn't see it. I guess my heart has always been with people. So I'm always putting, and I'm not saying that his isn't or wasn't then, but we just had different visions.
Right.
Then Mayor Prizicki came and really just took off with that vision. There have been so many new restaurants, so many new apartments and apartment buildings. It's been a lot. Wilmington is definitely on the map now.
Yes.
So definitely have to thank him for that.
Most
just
definitely.
Overall for his years of service in the city. It'll be 8 years when he finishes. And that's a lot. It does. It went very fast. That's a lot. That's a lot of stress, It's a lot, a time away from your family, a lot of criticism, and a lot of praise too. But being in an elected position is,
you gotta be everywhere.
Right, right. Everybody wants you to be there.
To all people. Yeah.
Right. So definitely want to wish him well on his next journey.
So since we're talking politics, who do you think besides Velda Potter, Velda Jones Potter is already announced that she's running for mayor?
Yes, she is. Yes, and she's going to have our unwavering support.
Yes.
I think that she is going to bring a different dimension to politics, and especially to the role of mayor in the city of Wilmington, honestly, because I think we have similar passions. Like my passion is people, and so is hers. And she's an extremely intelligent lady.
Very.
And she has the ability to continue with the development, but also to make sure that she is just starting, I believe, just a new era of governance in the city where people are also developed.
Exactly.
Right. So I'm really looking forward to just supporting her in her campaign and supporting her when she becomes mayor.
And empowering people.
Right. Empowering people and making sure that everybody has a piece of the peach cobbler.
Right.
No, seriously.
Yeah, right.
And I guess, when you think of Wilmington, people say, I love Wilmington. And I always reflect back on this. People say, I love Wilmington, but the school districts are terrible.
Right.
But the crime is terrible. But the court systems are terrible, but the prison system is terrible. And I don't think that anyone, honestly, in any position has ever really challenged like the school systems or the court systems or the prison systems. And because
they say let the state
do it,
handle that.
But still, I think, and it is a state role. Don't get me wrong, but I think that as elected officials here in the city of Wilmington, we have to have a bigger voice and
influence.
Right, and it's frustrating because all we can do is have a voice. A lot of those things that I talked about, most of those things that I talked about, are on the state level.
Right.
But I think that she is going to bring more attention to the deficiencies that plague, I think, our city. And I think there just has to be an agenda for Black and brown people. I don't think that any politician has ever said that. I could be wrong. Any politician in a major leading role has ever said that.
Right.
We can talk about it on council, but so much is on the state level. All we can do is send resolutions, which are just, as a council, we support if the state does this. We recommend that the state does this.
Right.
And we don't have voting power to make any of those changes in any of those systems that I was just talking about on city council. So that's very frustrating. That's probably been the most frustrating part of being a council member, is that people don't understand how politics works.
Right.
And they expect us to be able to make some of these major systemic changes, and we can't on council. But I think that we can be more of almost disturbers.
That's a good adjective.
And saying that we're going to talk about this constantly, because I don't want to walk away from council just knowing that I haven't had that kind of impact on the city that has been great to me and my family, and I just love. And I want to be able to say, okay, I was a part of this systemic change, and I think that Velda Potter Jones is the ingredient that we need, because her folks, she was born and raised here, also, and her focus is on that.
Right, and her story, she came from Riverside.
Right.
So she knows the struggles. She talks about her parents and her father working extremely hard to make ends meet for her family. So she understands our struggles that we've been through or are going through.
Right, currently, they're still going through.
Yeah.
And I just think that she's going to be a breath of fresh air that we need. We're also going to need a very strong council and that's going to support her. We talked about this before, but a lot of people keep saying, when am I going to run for mayor? They want me to run for mayor, and I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to run for mayor, and I'm not going to run for mayor because Velda is running for mayor.
Right.
And we have, again,
that's very noble of you, Trippi. Seriously, it is.
Okay.
don't.
All right, all right. I mean, I just think it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's the right thing to do.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
but
absolutely.
That's not all. That doesn't always happen.
That's true. But I think that the team of Velda and I, and a strong council who will have similar passions for people, will be able to really revolutionize the city of Wilmington. Still developing buildings, still bringing restaurants and making it fun and making it cool to be here, but not neglecting that crucial piece
Right.
that always, in my opinion, has been put on the back burner or hasn't been at the forefront, and that's the people. The
Right.
people who make up a lot of times that butt. So I'm looking forward to it. Carney, John Carney, our current governor, has expressed interest in running for mayor. Want me to go first? You want to go first? I know I've been talking a lot.
To me, it is Mike Przicki still being there, but not being there.
Oh, absolutely.
With John Carney, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it is.
And I believe that if that happens, the Black and brown community will still be in the same state that it's in.
I agree. And I don't know what else to say it, but I think that's the absolute truth. I think that Governor Carney has been in a position as the governor to really make a lot of noise about the systems that I just talked about,
Right.
and he hasn't.
Exactly.
To my knowledge. Someone can prove me wrong, and I apologize, but I haven't heard him being a disturber about the things that plague our city. Good guy, don't get me wrong, I think he did an excellent job during COVID, making some very hard decisions. People didn't want to wear a mask and people didn't
Right.
want to be restricted, but he wanted to keep people safe. So I appreciate that. I'm not going to paint a picture of this. He just hasn't been a good governor, but I don't think that his role as mayor, he wouldn't be a better mayor than Velda.
And I don't know, it may have been done it may have been done before, but I don't know I don't understand why a governor would now want to be a mayor.
Yeah, and I
That's
guess
like a demotion.
it is. It's I guess it's very revealing, but I guess the buzz has been around for weeks. So we're in October. Back in I think early August, I first heard about it, and everybody's been talking
That's
about it.
when I heard about it.
So everybody pretty much knew what he confirmed today. He has every right to run. Don't act like that he can't run, but going from governor, everybody keeps saying, why would you go from governor to mayor? And
I want to hear that answer.
Right, and I'm sure his answer would be he loves the city and he's gonna say what
he's supposed to say.
What he's supposed to say, but, and there's a huge but, because I haven't, if I had seen something different as a governor from him, I'd have been speaking differently, but I haven't. And that's the scary part. And I think it's just an attempt to keep that same system in place that we haven't benefited from as much as we should have, because we're a city that is almost 70% Black and brown. And I don't think that 70% of what has been going on in the city, the new development, like 70% of Black and brown people have not benefited from it. It's one thing to say that this organization, whether it's Reach Riverside, which is doing a great job, or HUD, they're getting all these millions of dollars, but how much of those dollars are going to Black and brown people to make them millionaires and to change their whole family dynamics?
Right.
I think very little. So that's my concern, that it's just going to be the same old. And I'm just, I don't want to be a part of that, you know?
Yeah.
And if I am, and if he's elected, and if I'm fortunate enough to be re-elected, I'm going to have to be. But hopefully everybody out there understands the seriousness of just being empowered, being, of voting, of being informed, and not being misled by words that sound great, by a name, because I don't know, I just think that we have an opportunity here to really change our city. And I just don't think that it'll come under his leadership.
Right.
That's all.
While you were speaking, we have an excellent platform, Trippi, that I think that we need to start sharing with our viewing audience and the community. What happens on council, who votes for what, so they can
really important.
understand who's voting for the things that are important to us and who's voting no against the things that are important to us.
Yeah, and I'll do a much better job of making sure that that we bring those kind of that we bring that kind of information to the Congo Hour, so people can know. Just being informed and seeing how we vote,
right?
As a council.
And come to council meetings.
Yeah, even better. Like come to council meetings on the first and third Thursdays at 6:30 to hear and be a part of it, and let us know as council members that you're watching, that you're paying attention.
Yes.
Extremely important. Voter registration, extremely important. I know people think that their vote doesn't matter, but it does. It really does matter, especially next year during this next election. Our mayor, it could be same, another day at the office, or
right.
I just think that, or we could revolutionize. And I say that because Wilmington is so small, and I think that we could really this city could be a model of what could happen across America. Yeah. If we are brave enough to speak out against some things that aren't as popular to speak out about, and that we are brave enough just to challenge the system and to be honestly disruptors and not just kind of go along and get along and say, oh, we can't do it. But and again, I feel extremely frustrated because technically we can't, but I think that we have to somehow empower people to be disruptors also. It's one thing for me on council or other council members, probably first one who comes to mind is Darby, Sinead Darby, to say some things that aren't too popular and kind of sometimes just be voting on contrary to what the popular vote is. But it's another thing where if we have hundreds or thousands of people supporting us and showing up and demonstrating and holding accountable and protesting. I just think that we have a great opportunity to change our city. I just hope that we're brave enough as elected officials to do it. And that goes for elected officials on the state, especially on the state level, because nobody gets a free pass.
Exactly.
And I think that as different elected officials, as the campaign season ramps up and they want to come on the Congo Hour, they have to be very specific about their agenda. And they have to be very specific about certain topics and very specific about a black and brown agenda, because I think that's the only way when we start talking about it and making people talk about it, elected officials or people who are running for elected offices talk about it. Right. Because I just haven't heard it. And again, if I missed it, I apologize, but I just haven't heard it enough. And I'm part of that too. So I'm not trying to act like it's just me and no one else. I just want us to have some courage to challenge those systems that I talked about earlier, the prison system, the court system, the school system. And I don't know, I just think that we have a perfect opportunity to do it, and hopefully we will. Yeah.
2024 is so important to me that I got certified to help with voter registration. Okay. Because it's very important that we get particularly our brown and black constituents register to vote, and those that even have been incarcerated. Some of them can vote now, and they don't know that they can vote now. So,
and even that whole system about how, your voter rights are taken away because you commit a crime or a certain crime. That's part of the system. That makes no sense for somebody not to be able to vote because they committed a crime. They served their time, they paid their fines. They got to go through this process of being able to vote again. I don't think it makes any sense.
It doesn't.
I think that people in prison should be able to vote. It does, and some of them can, don't get me wrong, but for certain crimes they can't, and I just don't see where that makes sense. Especially if they're going to be home soon. I think they should be able to vote on who they want to represent them when they get home. And I think that whole system, that whole prison system needs to do a better job of preparing the inmates for when they get out.
Yeah, that's a whole
Right.
that's
Like,
a whole show.
It is, and we could talk about that forever. Like having their driver's license. Like so many guys want to come when they get home. When they want to come and work, they don't have they don't have their driver's license. And I think, and they knew they were getting out of prison. And the system knew they were getting out of prison for months. And I think that should have been a part of that reentry. Like, okay, we're gonna make sure that as soon as you get out, you can go get your license. I don't know. I just think that we do a terrible job of making sure that our inmates are prepared when they come back home.
And to me, it's done on purpose.
Oh, definitely. It's absolutely done intentionally. Yeah. That's what I mean, that we have to, like, I'm looking for elected officials to say that out loud, and not just in private circles or not just on the telephone, like to come on air and say that. Because again, I think that's what it's going to take to change our city and to change the state. There was something else I wanted to touch on too. And again, I don't want to, I'm just Team Velda. You know, because I think that she's going to be that voice, and she's always talked about that. Like she's just not now talking about that because she's running for mayor.
Right.
Like that's always been her passion. Like when she was our city treasurer, it's always been her platform. When she was city treasurer, that was her platform. I just haven't heard it from Governor Carney.
Right.
So it scares me because so many people. Are just talking about, you know, when he wins. And I'm like, oh, I just can't.
Are they saying that?
Right, they don't think. I'm getting both sides. Some people think that it is going to backfire because, you know, who goes from governor to mayor? And some people think that because he was governor, I think those people aren't the most informed.
Right.
And I think it's our responsibility to inform them. I guess that's my take on that.
Right. I agree with you.
Okay, all right. So yeah, let us know how you feel. If you want to come on, and I welcome Governor Carney to come on our show so we can talk about it. I welcome Velda to come on the show and talk about her campaign. I welcome other elected officials to come on and talk about whether they agree with me or disagree with me. I think it's important that, because I might be missing something, so I think it's important that we have that conversation. Not behind closed doors, but right here on a Congo Hour, right on some type of public platform where people can hear how we feel about it. But we'll see. You know, we'll see. I just don't want to. I don't want to be a part of. Like when I'm out of politics, I just want to be able to say this is what I was a part of, and I can't do it alone. Right. And elected officials can't do it alone, honestly. We really, because there are a lot, like the stuff that we're talking about right now is going to cause a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for, from the system. It's going to cause a lot of fear, I think. Okay. A lot of fear, a lot of.
Now, when you say from the system.
From the people, from the system, from the people who want to keep it status quo.
Okay.
You know, I think it's going to cause them to say, we got to get Trippi out of there, you know, because I'm not willing to go along with that system. They're going to say we got to get other council members out of there. Yeah. But that's just a risk we got to take.
So that's crazy, because I was speaking with an individual today, and they were talking about how the last election, not you, but they wanted, and it wasn't dark, but they wanted a particular person off of council because that particular person wasn't voting the way that the other 7 were going to vote. So
yeah, I mean, I think that it's time for us to say, maybe not right now, because we're going to make sure that we have our ducks in a row and that we have all the information right to say who those particular people are, like you said earlier, and say, hey, it's not us making up something. This is how we voted. Right. This is how I voted. This is how all 13 of us voted, and you take it from there. You know, you kind of process that information. But it's up to us to really...
And make an intelligent decision for yourself.
Right, exactly. So I guess my plea is to just be informed, be part of politics. And I also think, I know we're talking a long time, aren't we?
We good.
We're good?
My phone,
oh, okay. I also think that it's intentional that we don't learn about local politics in our school system. We learn about national politics. We know who the president is, the vice president. We get all excited. But local politics is way more important than national politics.
Yes.
And I was just as guilty. And I went to a private school that didn't teach me local politics. Because if it did, and if local politics were taught in our schools, I think that more people would be informed, and I think things would be a lot different if our school system taught local politics and who has the authority to do what and who is in certain certain positions represent and who they represent and how to get involved
and how we can force those that we've elected to vote the way that we want them to vote and not the way that they want to vote.
Exactly. So again, I think that's just something that we have to really take a look at as a group of elected officials. And we just can't continue to say, and it's the truth. So when people say that council doesn't have any influence on our school system, it's the absolute truth.
Right.
But that day, we have to force that to change. And I think that we force that, the way that we force that to change, they're not going to give up. They're not going to give us that kind of authority. But who gives up power?
Right.
You know, I think that we have to somehow figure out a way to be disruptive, and not in a violent way, in a way that's going to get people's attention, whether it's kind of legislative halls, council hall, you know, our chambers, whether we just as a council decide, hey, we're not voting on any legislation until Wilmington is at the table. Something major has to happen.
Right.
Like it just can't, like you and I just can't keep talking about it, because we'll be talking about it 5 years from now. I believe if something major doesn't happen, and I think that we just need people to help us to figure out what that is. But again, I think that the people are an extremely huge part of this, of what I'm talking about, because I think elected officials will move differently once they know that people are watching and people are going to show up.
I'm thinking about Miss BB when you talk about education. She's like the watchdog.
She is.
So,
she is. Yes, she is. I mean, I just think there needs to be way more funding. I mean, it's great that we have a new school on the east side. It's great that it's going to be named after, you know, one of our great friends and a great leader in our community. But like, what are they teaching in that school, and who's teaching them in that school, and like, how are they learning? I think that's way more important. It's going to be a beautiful building. And I was fortunate enough to have a tour of it. It's not done yet, but it's going to be really nice. But I just think what's more important is that we know what is going to be taught and who's teaching them.
Yeah.
And
so I was going to say, if they follow, the name of the building is going to be after Dr. Maurice Pritchett.
That's right.
So if they follow his morals and values when it comes to education, then they'll do fine. So.
Right, and I just think, and I know this might be kind of extreme, but every time we talk about education, they say that when a student starts first, you know, if they're in second grade or third grade, well, really when they start first grade, like the teachers in that system already knows, that school already knows if they're going to be behind or not.
Yeah.
Right, they already know if they come into school behind, already behind the 8 ball. So I really think that we have to somehow have a conversation around regulating daycare.
Yes.
Because if we know that our daycares aren't providing the kind of education to prepare a first grader, I don't think they should be allowed to. It's not a babysit. It's not like a babysitting agency. Like, you're supposed to be teaching like these children to be ready for school. And if you're not doing that, we have to have that conversation too. And I know it. That's good. Yeah, I know it could be pretty uncomfortable for some people, but if we know these statistics and we're not doing anything about it, we're just as guilty, you know? So I think that it's gonna take those kind of conversations to really change who Wilmington is and what Wilmington is.
I'm looking forward to the future of Wilmington. I really am.
I am too.
Yeah,
but I think in order for us to look forward to it, we got to do a lot of work. And I think one of the first pieces is getting Velda to be our next mayor. All right. Yes. And I'll let you, and don't take it from me, I think that we should have her on here as soon as possible, because it's one thing for us to talk about it, but I want her to be able to talk about her platform as well. So, and I think she needs to be almost a regular on here. So that's how important it is to me.
I agree, and I'm gonna make it happen.
All right. Wow, so I don't know how long we have
I
been
don't know,
talking.
but we can't take a break
yeah,
now.
We're going to take a really quick break. They're telling us to wrap it up. We're going to take a really quick break, and we'll be right back with Moto's Kitchen.
Yes.
All right. We'll be right back.
DETV has been Delaware's premium provider of creative digital and broadcasting solutions that bridges communities and connects people. We create great stories for all audiences. We deliver independent news throughout Delaware. We are digital platform innovators. And we develop marketing and sales solutions so you can stay connected to your audience. Now, why do we do what we do here on DETV? We do it because we care. So, keep watching and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Remember, DETV, online, on air, on time.
Good evening and welcome back to the show. We are now going to have our guests come on. What's the restaurant, the catering company name?
Moto Kitchen.
Moto
Yes.
Kitchen.
All right,
Welcome
yeah.
to the Congo Hour.
Thank you very much for
You're
having me
welcome.
today.
Oh,
You're
you're welcome.
welcome.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming down. Moto Kitchen. Well, I guess first give us some of your background, your name, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, my name is Linda Stewart, and I'm originally from Kenya. I was
Okay.
born and raised in Kenya. I've been in the United States for the last 16 years.
Okay.
I'm a single mother. I have a son. He is 15 years old. I am also an avocado farmer in Kenya. I just started large-scale farming.
Do you know I've never tasted avocado?
What? Oh my goodness.
It's good.
Well,
It's-
you know
it's
what? I
really
think
good
I
for you.
did one time, but it didn't have like a taste or something. I don't know, and I haven't
Yeah.
had any since.
That's true, but
Yeah.
it's really, really good for you.
It is.
I think the avocados in America taste different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let me not be biased, but my sister has a lot of avocado trees in her yard. So when I went home back in February, I tried some and they were very delicious. And I was like, I might as well start eating avocados since I'm becoming an avocado farmer. And
Okay.
yeah,
So you said you're becoming a farmer.
I
So-
am, a farmer, yes.
So what's that process? How's that work?
When I went home, my dad gave me a couple of maybe 10 acres of land.
Just like that, huh?
Kind of like
Here,
generational
like-
wealth.
Yeah, just take this 10 acres, huh?
That's it. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, it was actually
good
because
stuff.
my son had a different vision. He wanted to have an after school, like a holiday camp for teenagers or something like that. Yeah, but in the meantime, I figured let me make use of it. So I decided to plant like 300 avocado trees.
Okay.
So I started with 300 and then I'll kind of continue with phase 2 and plant more. And then also kind of plant other fruits as well.
What made you come up with avocado?
Because my late brother used to train large-scale farmers. And we had a project. It's easy to plant avocados because as somebody who's, I guess, from the diaspora, it's difficult for you to monitor your farming or to do remote farming.
Yeah.
So at least avocados, oranges take long to yield fruit. So it's easier for you not to make losses, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, because they take about 3 years to mature.
Oh, wow.
Yep,
Okay.
yeah. So mine are actually going to be 2 years old by the end of this year. I just planted them in February, but I bought them when they're already 1 year old.
Okay.
All
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I plan to export them to Delaware.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I have to taste your avocado and yeah, I'm not going to have another avocado until yours comes so I can
no,
compare
no,
the avocados.
Okay. That's fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm also a community leader. I serve at the Delaware African Caribbean Affairs Commission. That's under Governor Carney. I'm the co-chair for Public Relations Committee.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard about the commission.
No, I haven't.
Not me neither.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the commission was created to help the African, I guess, families or people from African descent, just for their welfare.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How long have you been a part of that?
It's been 2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I do enjoy doing a lot of community work here and there. That's why I listened to your show and I was like, oh, there's food. Let me come there. Let me go eat somebody else's food.
So you're one of our newer supporters.
Yes.
How long have you been watching the Congo?
I think I've only watched 2 episodes.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
thank
And I
you.
was like, how
appreciate
come
it.
there are no people on this show? I don't see people. Like, I seem to be the only one who talks. Like, I try to interact through the chat. But yeah, that's usually my time on the internet. So
How'd you find out about it?
I follow Ivan.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
on Facebook. Yeah, so he usually streams it on Sundays.
Yeah,
Yes, he
thank
does.
you.
Yeah.
We appreciate
okay.
it.
Thank you, Ivan.
That's right.
And
Thanks, Big Eye.
DETV, yes,
Well,
yes.
It's a good thing you
It
guys
is.
are doing. So,
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. So Moto's Kitchen. How'd you come up with the name?
the name is actually Moto Kitchen.
Moto
yes.
Kitchen. Okay.
I have been in business since 2013. So when I had my divorce, as a single mom, it was difficult for me to just have one job. So I decided to open the catering business out of the love and passion for cooking. My mom used to love cooking.
Okay.
So I also wanted to spend time with my son, of course, when I'm hustling. So that
Right.
was my side hustle, where I started supplying appetizers, the beef samosas, to clubs and restaurants over the weekend. So many a times you'll find that a lot of restaurants close early. I mean, their kitchens close early.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
a lot of clubs would call me as a guest chef, and I would sell the samosas. They're spicy. They increase the sales.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so I would travel. I would work with a lot of DJs and promoters and travel to different states. Some of them have paid for my flight to Texas. I've been to all over the
Okay.
United
Oh,
States.
wow. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So what kind of events, what kind of food do you offer? I mean, you have Moto's Kitchen.
Yes,
is a
so the
catering
name,
service.
yeah, you asked me the name.
Yeah,
Moto is Moto. Let me say it like a Kenyan with
Moto.
a T, yes.
Moto.
Moto means fire.
Okay.
Fire.
And then it's a Swahili word also. So it's like Moto means hot kitchen, kind of like.
Okay.
I got
Yeah,
you.
so the hot mom, hot kitchen, the nice food. And then I wanted to relate to the Americans. So we liked the movie Madagascar when my son was young.
Okay.
And there's a character called Moto. So
Okay.
that's how I
okay.
was like, I'd like Americans to relate with my business. And that's how I called it Moto Kitchen.
Motomoto.
So people call me Moto. I'm used to it. I mean, yeah. But yep.
So what kind of catering do you provide?
I cater for special events,
Okay.
barbecues. I do like festivals, but the samosas are the #1 hit. I
Okay.
supply the #1 samosas.
Samosas.
So tell us
Samosas.
about samosas.
Yes.
Have you ever had a samosa before?
I haven't.
Okay.
Wow.
It's an Indian appetizer. As someone who grew up in Kenya, we grew up with a lot of Indians. So the way we cook our food is kind of almost like Indian, kind of. So it's a mix. So our samosas are very popular in Africa as well.
Okay.
And with the Indian community, although the Indians do the vegetarian. But, in Kenya, or, us Africans, we love meat. So we do the beef samosas. Like I said, it's an appetizer. It can be a snack. It can be eaten at any time when you have guests.
Okay.
You can just order. So I supply the party trays, which is kind of a hit. Yep.
Okay. And what's inside of them?
Beef.
Beef.
And then I also do vegetarian samosas as well.
Okay. All right. But you said they're spicy.
Yeah, they're spicy, but not so spicy. It's good enough for kids to actually eat.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yep,
All right.
yeah.
If someone wanted to contact you, how would they get in contact with you?
I have a website. It's www.motomotokitchen.com. And then my phone number is 302-482-5678. However, I always tell people, just Google me.
Okay.
And they'll see the stuff that I've been doing out there, just because I'm out there in the communities and all. Yep, yeah.
And how are you spelling the name of your company? How do you spell it?
It's Moto.
Okay.
That's how I would have spelled it.
Yeah.
Motomoto.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you. We appreciate it. And you're supposed to eat these cold or warm?
Actually warm. I
Warm.
do supply them when they're frozen or, freshly cooked. It just
Okay.
depends. Yeah, but I
Alright.
did bring them when, they're right now they're
Okay.
cold. So
I saw a few other containers. I'm gonna
yes,
take a few home and
I
warm
did
them
bring
up.
you containers
Okay.
and
Thank
the
you.
sauce, the secret sauce
Oh,
to actually
okay.
eat it with. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So
You're
make sure
welcome.
that you
Thank
contact Linda at Moto Kitchen, and she will let you know how she can cater your next event.
Yes.
Yes,
All right.
barbecues, chicken.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. All right. Thank you. We're going to take a really quick break, and we will be right back with the unveiling of Waynna's famous peach cobbler. I'll be right back.
I'm hungry.
Me too. I'm gonna get one of these now.
Government doesn't make a move without an agenda, some type of plan. The problem is we haven't been on the agenda. Sometimes we're overlooked. Sometimes our interests aren't the interest of those in power. I'm your host, Kerwin Gaines, on DETV's new show, The Agenda. We're going to do our best to ensure that you, Delawareans, are knowledgeable about what's going on in the Assembly. Federal government, local government, it doesn't matter. We're going to do our best to ensure that folks that make the agenda on a daily basis have to answer for it. Let them explain what they're doing. If it affects you, it's on the agenda.
Hello and welcome back to the show. This is the woman that we all have been waiting for the last 3 weeks. I think Waynna has been preparing us for her peach cobbler, her famous peach cobbler that is going to be on
It's
sale.
Mimi's
Mimi's
sweet cobblers.
Mimi's sweet cobblers, which you will be able to find in your local Acme, ShopRite, or Wegmans,
I know that's right.
or 7-Eleven. No. Soon.
So smart.
So Waynna,
That's why I love you so
take us through this peach cobbler. How did you come up with it? We can't talk about the ingredients, but take us back. Bring us up to date on how you came up with.
Well,
This
it's
special.
funny because I think I shared with you before, like when I was married, I felt like I was forced to cook. So I didn't enjoy cooking.
okay.
Hush, and we've had this conversation before.
That's true.
But now that I am not forced to, it's like
Because you're
I
not married.
enjoy doing. Well, even with Gundy, it's like he wanted me to cook too, but it's like, let me cook when I feel like it. Don't
got
like
you.
force me to cook. And so I enjoy cooking. So I was trying to think of a dessert to do. And so I started with peach cobbler.
Okay. And so far, you have been getting rave reviews.
Yeah, so far.
According to you.
I can show you a text
Okay.
message.
Okay. No, I believe
and
you.
You
I
can
believe
call
you.
my
Oh,
family.
shout out to the Big Ive who has joined us on the set.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
I want to see what this peach cobbler hitting for.
I don't even like peach cobbler. I've never had it. I don't like peaches.
Okay.
And she asked for honest opinions.
Right.
So
You want to give it to her?
I have to.
Okay.
Like, if she would have said, just say that you like it. I'm like, I like it.
I like it.
But now she's asked for my honest opinions.
Honest opinions.
Knowing I don't like peaches.
You might get it, huh?
Oh gosh, you're funny.
Take it right back to 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I'll give you all my honest
Sure
opinion.
you get peach.
But you said that you're going to also.
But I'm gonna serve the lady first.
Okay.
Okay.
You said you're also, Waynna, going to have other flavors
Thank you.
down the road.
I will, yes,
You will, but
eventually.
right now, you're just focusing on
Right
the
now,
peach.
we're just focusing on the peach.
So you selling these?
Yes, I'm selling, but I'm doing mini ones.
How many
mini?
people can a mini one feed? Like one?
1 to 2 people,
One to two
depending
people?
upon how they.
Why Wayne serving it like a church mom?
How you want me to serve it?
Church mom.
How you want me to serve it?
Come here, baby. You gonna get this? Huh?
I'm gonna do you a little piece since you
Thank
say
you.
you don't like it.
Thank you.
Since you say you don't like peach cobbler.
So what you think?
Am I supposed to wait or should I just go ahead? Because I'm hungry.
You go right ahead.
Okay.
No, they ain't say grace. Nothing. I'm gonna wait to see who said grace. Oh yeah.
That's good.
It's good?
Go ahead, Ike.
Go ahead, Trip.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, fam.
Go ahead. Yeah. I'm gonna drop mine.
It is. Come
All
on.
right, so, okay, I'm in.
He didn't say Grace either. Like,
Do you really like?
I like it. Like,
is your mom
Do
watching
you
this?
really?
Oh, you
It is
didn't
nice.
say
Oh my
Grace.
God.
Your mom taught you better than that.
You
And I
see
know
me,
she
you
did.
didn't like.
I was waiting to
It
see
is
what y'all
good.
say.
It's good.
Thank you.
It is.
Thank
Forget
you,
about
Linda.
it.
I'm not a peach lover either, but it's good. It's really good. It's moist.
I said Grace for both of y'all.
The sugar.
Oh yeah, too much sugar. No,
Yeah. It's okay. It's a dessert. Come on.
yeah, it's good.
Trippy. Ivan.
I'm gonna taste something.
It
Let me
is
see his
good.
face. Go ahead, Trey.
I can't.
It's good. It is
It
good.
is good.
You might be on to something here.
Way on up. Oh, okay, Mister. I don't eat peach
Yeah, you
cobbler.
turn that up.
It's good.
It is good. It's really good.
See you?
Okay.
Yeah, you was hungry.
And I'm
Oh,
taking
snap.
some to go.
Oh,
Huh? Yeah,
That's
wait for
good.
us.
Trip like the puppies.
Okay.
It's delicious.
That's really good. I definitely recommend Mimi's.
Mimi, who's Mimi?
It's what Anaya calls me.
Oh, okay. Oh, so
go to-
you jumping from TV into the bacon world.
I'm doing both.
Okay, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, you definitely get 2 thumbs up, man.
Oh,
Really,
this is
Trippy?
really
It's
good.
good, seriously.
It's good.
You know what's good? The crust. Crust is good.
I thought you don't eat peach cobbler.
Tore that
That's
out.
my first piece, but it's good.
Okay.
That's really good, so I definitely recommend it.
How much are you going for?
Thank you. So the individuals are going for $10. They're nice size individuals. What do you mean?
Man, Trip.
I didn't say anything, man. That was I. That was all I.
You can get 10 for that. You can get 20 for that.
For a mini one?
Nah, not a mini
You
one.
get about 12.
Don't price yourself out. Get them things away. Get them
You get
things for
10.
like $3.
Yeah, get into the game.
$3. Yeah, it's $3.
Go back and re-up.
No. No, not at all.
Nah, they're really good.
Just
though.
stick to your price.
They're really good. So.
I am.
Yes.
Thank you, Linda.
You know your value, right?
That's right.
There you go.
Don't listen to me. I'm not. I like it.
Nah, it's really good. How can people order?
They
How can
can
they
give me a
contact?
call directly at 302-521-7325. 302-521-7325.
All right, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to be your first customer. I'm going to be your first supporter. Okay, so we're going to give away. You said that how much each?
10.
10. All right.
So this is not a mini.
Right.
Okay.
How much is that going to cost?
I have to figure that out.
Okay. So for a mini, that can serve between 1 and 2 people. They're going to be $10.
Probably one person if you eat like you
Okay.
and Linda.
All right. So we're going to give away 10 of them.
Okay.
Okay. To the first 10 callers or 10 texters or how you want to do
10
it?
Texers.
All right. So the first 10 people to text, what should they text?
Mimi.
Mimi?
M-I-M-I.
So for the first 10 people to text M-I-M-I to Wayna's number, again, she's going to give her number out.
302-521-7325.
All right, text that number right now, and the first 10 people to do that, and to get a response from Waynna saying that you're one of the first 10 texters, will each win a, what are they called?
A peach cobbler.
Peach cobbler.
A peach, a what? A mini peach cobbler.
A mini peach
A mini
cobbler.
peach
that serves
cobbler.
1 or 2.
That serves probably one.
1 or 2 people. All right,
I love it. It's good though.
it is.
It's moist. Why are you looking at me?
That's good, though. It is really good.
Thank you, Trippy.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You did your thing, Mimi.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know what? I feel good. You know, sometimes when you eat something, you want to feel that fulfillment.
That's the sugar.
That's the feeling that.
That's the sugar.
Tomorrow I'm gonna be. You see how tomorrow I'll be jumping.
You're doing 100 jumping jacks with that day.
Oh yeah. Let's see how it works tomorrow.
Okay, all right.
My energy level.
Really quick break. We'll be right back.
I love Trip.
Good evening and welcome back to the Congo Hour. Our Trippi and Ivan are so crazy, but
Yeah, we go
but you
way
really
back.
did enjoy the peach
Oh,
cobbler.
I did. It was
Okay.
really good.
All right, I'm glad
Honest
that you
opinion.
did. Okay.
So I'm sure they are going to fly off of the shelves, slide out of your house come holiday time. And again, don't forget to be one of the first 10 texters. It's 302-521, and we're going to give you the last 4 numbers.
7325.
7325.
All
Okay.
right. Yeah. Trippi, let's talk about I know we talk about pre-planning a lot, but I don't think we can talk about it enough.
I know. I mean, it's really, really important.
Yeah, it is.
It just gives, so we're talking about pre-planning. We're talking about pre-planning the funeral services for yourself or for a loved one. And, you know, we talk about it on here just because we want to you to be informed and be educated on the benefits of it. There's a financial benefit to pre-planning, and there's also a mental benefit to pre-planning, just because it takes so much pressure off of your loved ones.
Mental and emotional.
Right, it takes a lot of pressure off of. It can take a lot of pressure off of yourself if you're doing it for a loved one, because it just has. You just come into the funeral home. You meet with my sister Kim, and you just talk about the service, and it can be as simple as I don't say simple, as straightforward as a direct cremation, where you may not want any services at all. You just want to be cremated, and you may want a memorial service, you may not, you just want to be cremated. Or your loved one just wants to be cremated. You come in and you talk about the cremation service. Or you may want to have a funeral service and a cremation. So you have an option of having a full viewing, a full funeral service, and then instead of going to a burial, you or your loved one would be cremated.
Yes.
And you always have an option of either you can keep the cremains. A lot of people refer to them as ashes, but you know they're called cremains.
Yes.
So you can keep your cremains, you can bury your cremains, sometimes you can spread your cremains. So again, that's something that you just want to talk about with your family, or you could have a funeral and a burial.
Right. Let's talk about spreading cremains.
Okay.
Because a lot of people say they want to spread the cremains. Some people say, oh, we're going on a cruise, we're going to spread them, or we're going down to Battery Park and spread them.
So legally, you're supposed to get a permit before you
Okay.
can spread cremains or spread ashes. Again, we're gonna refer to them as cremains because that's the correct term. But when we say that, we're talking about what is commonly referred to as ashes.
Yes.
So to do that, you need a permit to do that from the county or from the state to be able to spread them. Sometimes people want to take cremains to another city, another country, another state, and the airlines do allow that. We will provide you with a permit so that when you go through security, they would know what they are. But that's perfectly allowable too. That's an option. And then sometimes people want to have a funeral and then a burial. Even with a burial, you have options. You have an option of a ground burial. You have an option of an entombment where you want to be in a mausoleum, your loved one wants to be in a mausoleum. And that's just some of the things that you really just want to talk about before the need occurs. Just because you want to be able, when a person passes away, your first instinct is to grieve. Yes. And that is an extremely long process. You never finish grieving. You never stop grieving. But during that next day to 2 weeks, there's a lot of things that have to be discussed.
Yes.
A lot of planning, a lot of decisions. And it's just hard to make those decisions when you're emotional and when there are other people at the table who want to be a part of that decision making. So when you come in and you make pre-arrangements, it really, again, it just takes so much pressure off of you and your family. So it just allows you to grieve, right? To start that grieving process. And it's, again, you have so many different options, but if you just call my sister Kim at the funeral home at 302-652-8887, she will come to you. You can come to the office. You can meet at a restaurant. She just does it wherever you're most comfortable. And it's just, besides that, like the mental or the emotional relief that it can provide, that it does provide, it also can be it is also financially a great idea.
Yes.
Because again, it just takes that burden of how we're going to come up with this money to pay for our loved one's funeral. It takes that away.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have the money, but you just don't know how to spend it. Like you don't know what the person wanted. That's another thing we have to talk about too, is life insurance. Because a lot of
Okay.
times we think that life insurance is just
the burial.
for a funeral, and it's not. It's not. And a lot of times we need to update our life insurance policies because we bought policies, or our grandmothers bought policies decades ago, and it's not enough to cover a funeral.
Right.
So that's just another burden. So these are just some of the things that you want to start to talk about your family with. I know it can be uncomfortable, but it's a necessary conversation. So again, if you want to, if you have any questions, just please call us at the funeral home at 302-652-8887. Ask to speak to my sister Kim, and she will walk you through the entire process.
Yes.
All right?
All right, time to close out.
Time to wrap it up. So again, we thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you for all of your love and support. If
Yes.
you ever want to be a part of the Congo Hour, Waynna will let you know how, and we will.
Give me a call at 302-521-7325.
All right. All right, we will
right.
see you next week, God willing. Thank you, and we love you,
Yes.
and go Birds. Are you an Eagles fan?
Go Dallas.
Okay, bye. The Cobbler was terrible, okay? don't get it. Don't get it.